Hello peeps. So this is a bit of an unplanned video, to be fair. I was recording some game footage for my YouTube channel and TikTok, making some shorts. And initially I was just going to do like 4 or 5 games. But then once I booted it up and got playing it, I just got a bit addicted to it. And I wanted to play more and more games while I was doing it. So it ended up me turning it into about 26 games. Dolphin's a really good emulator, so literally every game that I tried loaded up perfectly. I mean, obviously these are really dated now, your Wii's, the graphics are pretty crappy on it, but they were never about the graphics, it was about the playability. You know, they sort of brought the family together, you played bowling and all that sort of stuff. Everybody can pretty much remember the first time they had to go on the Wii Sports, I'm pretty sure of it. Great fun, there's some really good playable games on here. And that's what it's all about, isn't it, basically? If you've got kids and they've never played a Wii, I'm pretty sure if you stuck them in front of one and give them a Wiimote, they'd love them. You know, you look at like Roblox and Minecraft and Fortnite and stuff like that. I mean, the graphics on them are crap, to be fair, aren't they, compared to what you can get? But it's about the playability. And obviously they are really playable games, so they do well. And I believe the Wii was in the same boat. But basically this video is not a guide, it's just to show you the you know, like the latest version of Dolphin running the Mayflash DolphinBar, just to show you how well the Wii plays on it. There's 1,000,001 guides out there on YouTube. All you've got to do is search it and you'll find it really, really easy to set up. You don't need no BIOS, no messing about. Just get cracked on with it. I can pretty much guarantee if you get some games, get the emulator downloaded, you're going to have some real fun with this, especially if you've got kids. Like I say, they're still absolutely brilliant to play. So firstly, we'll take a look at the Mayflash DolphinBar. We're going to come into whatever search string you use, and we're just going to search Mayflash DolphinBar. And as you can see, there's loads here for Amazon, for eBay and stuff like that. There's your normal sensors, you can dock them, but I'm not going to be messing about. I'm not going to be telling you about that. You can search all this, but I'm just going to be concentrating on the Mayflash DolphinBar. Apparently you can even use 2 bloody candles, but you can see them there on AliExpress for £21.79, which is like £8 cheaper than Amazon, but it's depending if you want to wait. If you do go ahead and buy one, easy to use. You've literally got this sync button here. You press that, you take your battery case off the back of the Wiimote, press a little orange button to sync them, they'll sync instantly. And then you've got your mode button 1, 2, 3 and 4. Mode button 1 is basically it emulates a PC mouse, so you can load all your main games up and stuff like that, and use your Wiimotes for the shooting games, so the light gun games. And then mode number 4 is to emulate the actual Wiimote itself and play the Wii games. The other two, I'm not 100%, I can't remember what the other two are now, but you don't need them, to be fair. You can buy up these little fixings like the guns and stuff like that, and the battery chargers, whatever else. But we're just going to talk about the Mayflash DolphinBar for now. And now we'll have a look at the Wii controllers, what you can get on Amazon. These aftermarket ones, obviously they're not official Nintendo ones. They've got the built-in Motion Plus. But in the reviews, I've read mixed reports. I've seen people saying that they don't work with Bluetooth, they don't work with the Mayflash DolphinBar. I can't confirm this, I've never ever tried them, to be fair. You can get all the different colours, but I'd always recommend buying a used official Wiimote off of eBay or whatever. If you've got some lying about, they're going to still be a lot better than these. Look down the reviews, look, people are complaining they don't work with Bluetooth. People are complaining that they're not official Wiimotes, which, to be honest, it's pretty obvious they're not official Wiimotes. I don't know. People don't do any reading or anything. But yeah, if you look at this one here, it says also doesn't work with the DolphinBar in emulated mode. Now, I can't confirm that because I've never tried them. You can buy a little motion sensor pluses in here, and I've read they're okay, they work fine, to be fair, but anyway, we'll have a look at eBay, see what sort of price they're fetching. And we're going to search for the official Nintendo Wiimotes with the Motion Plus sensor built in. One there for £25. That's the normal Wiimote with the actual add-on. These are the actual ones here with the motion sensor built in. You can see because there's a little bit of curved writing underneath where it says Wii at the bottom. He's got all the colours here, £25 each, which it's not too bad. Obviously with these you're not getting your nunchuck over, so it's a bit pricey, but they're getting out a lot harder to find these. But if you do a bit of hunting, you'll probably find them cheaper anyway. Also you've got the likes of car boots and stuff, they're always popping up on car boot sales. The one there, £28, you see that one's got your nunchuck as well, so, and a little sleeve for it. One there for 14 quid. Fun to buy, you'll find them, but they're not going to last forever. Obviously they don't make them anymore, so. Next we'll just take a quick look where you can download the emulator. This is Dolphin, it's a really good emulator and they're starting to work on it again now. It's being updated all the time again. And this controls the Wii and the GameCube. So we'll just search for the Dolphin emulator in Google it. And obviously it's going to be the top result here. And then on the website, you can just download the Dolphin 2503A or whatever it is when you come to download it for Windows, Macs and Linux. You can see the compatibility there where nearly 70% of the games play absolutely perfectly. And it's basically saying that 97% of the games are absolutely playable on it. And also you don't need any BIOS files with this emulator, it just runs as is. Really good emulator. So once you've downloaded it, you're going to have a folder like this one. Now, if you just want to run it as a standalone emulator and you're not bothered about using Retrobat or anything like that, you can make yourself a little ROM folder in here, and that's where you can just put all your games. And then when you load up the Dolphin emulator, you can literally choose where your games folders are kept. So it will automatically find them and populate them into the list so you can do all the configuration on each individual game and stuff like that. So as always, every time I load up the Dolphin emulator, I go straight up to the top right hand corner to the help, check for updates and download the latest update. Now we're updated, we'll have a look where the controllers are. Now I wouldn't recommend using a normal controller like an Xbox controller at all on these. You can do it, but it's not very good, it's not a good experience at all. For the best experience, you've got to go with the actual Wiimotes. So you need to make sure where it says here, emulate the Wii's Bluetooth adapter, you want to be set to real Wii remote. And while I'm in here, I'm going to turn the other three off because basically sometimes you might get a two-player game where the second player's like cursor, like the crosshair is on the screen and it's a bit annoying, so I'll just turn them off. Obviously, if you're going to play on 2 players or whatever else, you're going to play 4 players, you'll just come and turn these back on in here. Also, where it says it enables speaker data here, I turn that off because on my Wiimote, the sound that comes out of the little speaker is crackly as hell. It's really annoying. Now, I know when I played it before, I've got loads of different Wiimotes. And this time I was using one of the ones with Emotion Plus built in, so I thought it'd be a newer control basically. But I have read somewhere that it depends what controller it is. Some of the later Wiimotes actually work fine. It's just down to do with that. But I don't know how true that is. Again, I haven't seen that myself, so I just disable it. It sounds terrible when you're playing. Then if we close out to that, we'll come up to where it says config. And we come straight over to the Wii selection at the top. And in here you can change your aspect ratio if you want it widescreen. You can enable the rumble on the Wiimotes. You can change the sensitivity. You can put it like you used to be able to on the actual console, whether it was at the bottom of the telly or the top of the telly. And also you've got in here the use PAL mode in the top left hand corner. Now if you've got the European ROMs, a lot of them when they load up they're going to say it's running in 50Hz and it could be run at 6Hz. It'll be better run at 60Hz, but obviously if you put that on for that game it'll be fine, but again I've read where this can break certain games, so I just leave it unchecked and lose that little tiny bit of speed. You don't really notice it, to be fair, when you're playing. It'd be nice if you could turn it on per game, like if you could right click and go to the properties on the game and just turn it on for certain games, but you can't do that yet. Might be something they'll bring into it. And now if we go into the graphics section, you can choose your back end. Now in most cases, a lot of people choose Vulkan, but when I did some testing on this a while back, so I don't know if it's changed, I used the Direct 3D 12 core and I tended to get a lot better performance out of that. I did a load of testing on it. I checked the frames per second on each game through each core, and the Direct 3D 12 was the one that was performing the best when I checked it. As I say, this was a while ago, so I don't know if it's still the case. You obviously want to start in full screen, so basically when your games load up they're in full screen. And there's these other options here as well if you want V-Sync on and stuff like that. If you're suffering from screen tearing, you might want to put that on. come over to enhancements, and here you can put it on whatever resolution you want. You can put it up to 8K if you've got a beefy computer and an 8K monitor, then you can just whack it straight up. It would kill my old computer if I put it on that, but you've also got your anti-aliasing, your filtering, your resampling and stuff like that. You can have a play about. I'd just leave them as they are, to be fair. You don't need to mess about with stuff like this. At the end of the day, it's the Nintendo Wii. You don't bloody need all these settings on. They never look pretty anyway, so it's not about looking pretty, as I've said. In Axe, I've never bothered with anything there. And then if you go into Advanced, the only thing that you could use in here is your show frames per second and stuff like that. If you want to mess about, see how far your computer can run it on the GameCube and Wii games, basically you can put your show frames per second on, keep upping up the resolution. And then as soon as you start losing frames per second, you can knock it back down to the last one you tested. So yeah, if you go back out, right click inside the emulator, you can create a new folder and call it ROMs if that's where you want to store your games. And then if you look in the Dolphin Emulator, come to config and then go to paths, where it says game folders here. Obviously I've got a million because I've got that many different systems running. If you come down to add, and then you can just basically browse to where your ROMs folder is. And it's right there. So if you've added your games there, you click select folder, then it's going to populate all them games in the list like it has on mine. Or if you're going to use it through Retrobat, obviously you come down to your ROMs and your Wii folder is here. You can just copy and paste the games in here. And we're using the WBFS format, the games. So we'll have a scroll down to the Nintendo Wii wheel in a Retrobat. Also, there's obviously the WiiWare as well, all them games you can play about with. There's still a fair few games in there that are playable, really playable, but obviously it's all about the Wii games. You press your back button on your remote or select if you're using a PlayStation remote. Come down to advanced system options, and then you've got all your different options in here that are similar basically to what you've seen in Dolphin Emulator itself. You can change your game aspect ratio and all stuff like that. Coming to video, you've got all your different hacks, your widescreen hacks, and all the all these different hacks, which I've got none of them set. Then you've got all your different rendering options again. If you want to have a play about these, just click them on. If it doesn't work, you can come back in and put it straight back on auto. And then we'll go down to the video again because I've got it set on Vulkan. I'm going to put that on DirectX 12. Now, when I recorded the games that I'm going to show you, they was all actually recorded with a Vulkan back end, so you can clearly see it. It's not a massive change. There were just certain games that run better on the Direct 3D core when I did all the testing, but most of the games will probably be barely noticeable. The first couple of free games that I tested, I just had them on the standard resolution. Then after that, I knocked them up, but I can't remember which ones I put on the ×2 now, to be fair. But now, if you come into your control section and you do want to use your Xbox joystick, again, I won't recommend it. It's okay for games like GoldenEye and stuff like that. You come down to Wiimote type and you'd put it on emulated in there, not on the real Wiimote. And then if you click on the emulated devices, basically where it says Wiimote and it's got all the different options, what that's referring to is the left hand option is your left thumbstick and the right hand option is your right thumbstick. So basically it says cursor tilt. Your left thumbstick's going to be a cursor, your right thumbstick's going to be a tilt. Or like the nunchuck stroke cursor, your left thumbstick's going to control the nunchuck, and obviously your right thumbstick is going to control your cursor. But again, it's crap. So yeah, like I said, I wasn't even gonna record this. I just got lost away with playing the games, and I thought I'd share the footage what I recorded so people can see how the Mayflash is performing with the latest updates on Dolphin. And it might just take a few of you down memory lane and want you to get your Wii back out, or basically go down the emulation route. I've still got all my Wiis, to be fair. I've got bloody stacks of them downstairs. I've got the Wii Fit boards, I've got everything, the dance mats, I've still got bloody everything. I've saved everything. I don't tend to sell stuff, to be fair. And literally, when I started doing these little videos, I was going to play like 3 or 4 games, record them, and I've done, put the Mayflash DolphinBar away. But I ended up playing like bloody 20 odd 30 games, so I'll show you 26 of them, which includes the 2 sort of fan-made versions of Mario Kart. I didn't actually record the normal Mario Kart. I'll just show you the fan-made versions, and the Mario Kart Black's a really good one. And a couple of years ago, when I started tinkering about with these, you could still play that Mario Kart Black online. I can't remember, it was a while back, but you could still play it online. There was like dedicated servers you can mess about on it and still actually play online against people. I'm pretty sure that option's not available anymore, but who knows. Anyway, I'll shut up blabbering on for a change.
come to where I am soon.
Now aim your rifle downrange. Now, shoot each target while aiming down the sights. Lovely. Now, shoot at the targets while firing from the hip. Now I'm going to block the targets with a sheet of plywood. I want you to shoot the targets through the wood. Bullets will penetrate thin, weak materials like wood, plaster, and sheet metal. Good. Now I'm going to make the targets pop up one at a time. Hit all of them as fast as you can. As long as you're aiming near the target, you can snap onto them by repeatedly popping in and out of aiming down the sight.
That's one. The biosensors are picking up more signals ahead. Be careful. The tunnel isn't completely blocked. You might be able to use the subway card to buy. There's something down the tunnel. Switch to your scar.
understand me? Body that, body that, we gon' body that.
That's right. Drop one zombie velocity to straight fucking zombie. That's the new math.
Body that, we gon' body that. Yeah, body that.
Rule number one: turn their friends into porn or pesto. If you like that.
I push you on the left like you take 6. It's my turn to get down and I'm a straight shit. When anybody try to take it from the ball, go ahead and get in line. I'm sorry you alone. Maybe I can let it rock first, but it cost you your life not to get tossed. It's already right, man. The boss. You said 5 minutes, set the 5 minutes. And put this motherfucker down, still feels
That's my right on. No, bring it here.
rewind again. We gon' body that, body that, we gon' body that, yeah, body that, we gon' body that, motherfuckers, we gon' body that.
What I call a
I owe you one. Sure, I had a chance to pay you back soon. This is bad. Let's keep moving.
Dodge, dodge, dodge and counter. Dodge and counter. You got it? Right. Aha. Oh, shit.
Hey, he's over here! You're a joke! Go, go! Yeah! Hey, he's over here!
Nice work. All right, Sterling, Egan, get the loader in position by the marker. Caldwell, you finish the job.
On it, boss. All right, Egan, let's get this thing on board. Lexine's right. Leon would flip if he saw this.
Steady your hand there, Sam.
I got it. Almost there.
Looking good. Counterbalance is stable, gyros online. Ready for load. Stand by. I'm starting the 5 down. 5, 4, 3.